In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the 4 business tips that develop attraction. That's right, business tips from not only from what I've learned from a specific book that I'm going to talk about, but also my personal experience to help you develop attraction, more attraction with women. All right, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm a Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and a notification button because I'm dropping a video every day. Okay, so one of the things, if you've seen some of my other videos, you've probably realized is that I am a huge supporter of self-learning, self-help, personal development books, listening to others, and podcasts and all that stuff, right? So one of the books, if you haven't read this book or heard of this book, called Pitch Anything by Oren Klaff, and I made a bunch of notes so I don't forget anything. So Oren Klaff, in his book Pitch Anything, basically the book is about how to be a startup in a startup situation, and you're standing in front of investors like the Shark Tank, right? Or in Canada, Dragon's Den, because I'm from Canada originally and I moved to Atlanta over a year ago for my work. So you're standing in front of a bunch of investors. Well, how do you pitch them so that they want to invest in your company or your idea? Well, there's a lot of similarities in pitching investors and pitching women to date you, to go on a date. That's what we're going to cover in this video, is these 4 principles laid out and lessons from a business standpoint that apply to developing attraction when you're dating, okay? So before I get into that, just quickly, a little bit about myself. I've been a marketing executive for my entire year. I've gone all the way from coordinator, manager, director, vice president, to even CEO for a company, all right? So I've done very well for myself in a marketing career standpoint. From a business standpoint, I sell toilet paper by the container load. I have a toilet paper business. I have my own brand that I created as well. So I've had this business since 2009. No, I'm not a millionaire from the business yet, but I've done pretty good in terms of sales in the past, but I still have a job. So I have these businesses on the side because I like to hustle and I like to do things. And YouTube, by the way, is one of the other things that I'm trying to grow. So I've learned a lot. I'm a huge fan of Sun Tzu, Art of War, and all these other books, 48 Laws of Power, 33 Laws of Strategy, whatever. So these 4 things, this is really fascinating. So first is, this is from Oren Klaff's book, Pitch Anything. So first is an intrigue frame. So this is what he talks about in his book, an intrigue frame. And I'm just going to look at my notes and read a lot of the things that I'm seeing here, just so I don't miss anything and paraphrase, okay? So first he says there's an intrigue frame. So imagine you're standing in front of investors, or you're trying to get a date with a woman, right? So it's very similar. So an intrigue frame is using a compelling and relevant story without a conclusion to grab their attention. So basically, in dating apps, you need to have a compelling profile to get their attention. Or you're out and you're doing cold approach. You need to say something compelling to get their attention. And one of the examples is, especially a cold approach, is you mention something that they're wearing or they're doing. You either compliment it or you just find it funny or weird. So ideally, it's not a compliment, but rather something that they're doing or that you find funny or weird. So for example, if a woman has this big, huge bag of takeout, right? And you see her, and let's say she's in the elevator of a building, or she's walking through the hotel, and you approach her and you say, "Oh, hi, I noticed you've got the Uber Eats. Are you going to eat? Is that all for you? Are you going to eat all of that?" And then she might say, "Oh, yeah, that's for me." And then you say, "My God, where do you put it?" This is what I mean. Or you're at a restaurant bar and she orders a dish. And so for example, one time there's a restaurant on the ground floor of my building. This was freaking hilarious. They have this lamb lasagna. So I know you're thinking, what, lamb lasagna? No, it's delicious. But by default, it comes out in the size of a brick. It's massive. So she was cute. It came out, and I was like, boom, here's my opportunity. I look over and I was like, damn, that is huge. Are you planning to eat all of that yourself? And she says, yes. And then I said the same thing. I said, my God, where are you going to put it all? And then so she found that funny. And then we started talking and I got her number, right? So this is an example of number one is the intrigue frame. You need to say something compelling or do something to get their interest. It's the same with your profile pictures on dating apps. Fuck, man. So many of you guys, you have a baseball cap as your first profile picture. Like your first profile picture needs to be awesome. Maybe you're rescuing dogs, you're at this dog shelter, or you've got a surfboard, right? And you can see your chest and things, depending on the body you have. But come up with something interesting. Otherwise, they're not intrigued and they're going to move on. So it's the same with pitching investors. You need to get their attention right away and intrigue their interest. So that's number one. Number two, or second, is what Oren describes as a prize frame. So a prize frame is to position you as the prize they're going after. Right. And so many of you guys put women up on a pedestal, and I have heard this so many times in TV series, at parties, movies, where the guy will say in front of a whole bunch of people as a toast and say something like, well, I'm lucky she's with me, or, well, without her, I'd be nothing, or, oh, she's the prize, not me. What? Hold on a second. No. You're the prize. Just remember that. As a man, you always bring more to the table than a woman does. Okay? And specifically, you're most likely paying most of the bills, right? You're the one providing the leadership. You're the one providing the mentorship. You're the one that's stronger, providing the physical protection, right? The only things a woman's bringing to the table is the ability to have children and sex. Otherwise, all those other things in general, right? There's exceptions. She's not bringing anything else to the table other than her looks or body. So just remember that, guys. So you're the prize, and you need to position yourself as and have these boundaries. One of my videos I talked about boundaries. Have this masculine frame where they go, oh, yeah. And by the way, this interesting thing. I'm going to let you in on this one. Younger women, I would say 30 and under, are insecure about their age, especially around an older guy. They know you bring fucking more to the table. They know it, but they pretend that they're the prize. So, knowing that secret, you don't play on that. No, not at all. But you already can put yourself in this prize frame, and they will accept it. Okay? So that's number two. That's the second thing, is the prize frame. So number three, or the third that Oren describes, is a time frame that points to legitimate urgency around the deal. So, hey, I'm going to get you in on this deal. I'm going to give you a 10% stake, but you got to make a decision by here. Well, basically, the third is you need to be the leader and book the fucking date. You have no idea how many women I've spoken to where they have a text buddy for weeks and the guy hasn't asked them out. Women are not going to ask you out on a date, typically. So as a guy, that's what you need to do. This is what I do. If it's a dating app situation or it's cold approach, by the very next day, within 24 hours, I ask them out on a date. And I say, hey, look, my weekend's booking up. I'm free on Friday. Why don't we go out, grab a couple drinks, and I meet you for 7. Boom, boom. That's third, okay? Fourth and final is what Oren describes as the moral authority frame. So the moral authority frame is where you force them to justify their own worthiness to take advantage of the deal. I love this. Like pre-qualifying them. And I'll give you an example of what I do to pre-qualify women before a first date. One of the things is I say, hey, look, I want to take you out on a date, on a cute date, but first, do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? And she'll say, oh, okay, sure. So I say, well, first of all, what are your top 3 love languages? Okay, so I get the answer there. And then I say, the next question is, say, are you vegan? And this always throws women off. They're like, oh shit, should I say I'm vegan? Should I say I'm not vegan? Damn it, is he vegan? Oh, so they reluctantly give a response. They'll go, I'm not vegan. Is that okay? That's what I'm talking about. Now they have to justify their worthiness to go on a date with you. They're justifying, oh shoot, I hope my top 3 love languages align with his. I hope he's okay with me not being a vegan. This is what I'm talking about. So I've been doing this for a long time, and I just actually didn't realize this until I looked at a recap of the book that I read, Pitch Anything, and I was like, oh my god, I have to do a video on this because it's so exact to do with dating. So use these 4 tips, and I'll recap them on your dating to develop more attraction. So number 1, the first is the intrigue frame. Second, a prize frame. Third, a time frame. And fourth, the moral authority frame. Right, 4. All right. So let me know in your comments what you think of this one. And if you want me to do more videos on connecting books that I've read to how they apply to dating. So until next time, have a great day, man.